So I'm Nakia. I'm just a black girl that loves to eat. I'm a stand-up comedian. At least I was when there was such a thing as stand-up. I don't know if y'all remember, but it used to be a thing where people could get on stage and tell jokes to other people, like in crowds. I know crowds, what's that? That sounds crazy. I know, I'm with you, but it was really a thing. We would get on stage and tell jokes and people would laugh, and you know, particles would be flying everywhere, but it wasn't a problem, you know. Droplets weren't a problem back then, but now they are. So here I am in my room, quarantining, dressed up on a Saturday night, nowhere to go, but that's okay. It's fine because I got something to say. This is some important shit that's I'm about to say it right now, okay? It's some like I can't believe this shit. So here it go right now. I ain't gonna waste no more time. I'm about to get right into it. I'm just start saying it now. I ain't gonna keep talking about it. I'm about to start talking about what I'm talking about right now. Earlier this week, Eat More Baltimore posted a photo that was so breathtakingly beautiful and heart-stopping that it literally sent Baltimore City into a frenzy, y'all. It's the crab cake egg rolls. Crab cake egg rolls. When I say I saw that picture and almost cried because it was so beautiful and I had to have it immediately. Freaking crab cake egg rolls. This is what the city been waiting on, okay? Okay. This is Baltimore City. Home of the wild. The city that reads. The greatest city in America. The place where you get the best crab cakes. We love crab. We learned how to crack crabs at like 3 or 4 years old. My mother taught us how to crack our own crabs as soon as she could because she didn't want to crack it for us and have to give us the crab meat, okay? It's a lot of work and you do it for yourself. I'm out here at 4 years old cracking crabs like a pro. Egg rolls are pretty important to our culture as well. We didn't really have supermarkets, but we had places to get chicken boxes and we had Chinese food spots and we had nothing else, okay? We got those two. So a lot of us grew up on egg rolls. But when you put the crab cake in the egg roll, like that is a whole new level of freaking taste-tastic, like mind-blowing, like what did you just do? I need this right now. We gonna go crazy. It only makes sense that the post would go viral on both Instagram and Twitter and literally have people from all over wanting to get their hands on the crab cake egg roll. The whole city is so excited for these crab cake egg rolls. So you can only imagine the disappointment when AJ's on Hanover revealed to us that they were going to take the crab cake egg rolls off the menu.
I don't like that.
Why would a place take the highest selling item off the menu? You know, if there was so much commotion around it, if you knew that people were standing outside waiting for it, lines, calling, phone ringing off the hook because they wanted to get their hands on this crab cake, well, why would they do that? You know, why would they do that? I think it has a lot to do with race.
What? That is shocking.
Baltimore is not new to being a racist city. If you know anything about the structure of Baltimore and redlining and all of that stuff, everything is pretty much deeply rooted in racism. The area in which AJ's is located is specifically racist. And a lot of people will say, well, they didn't call me the N-word, or they got Black Lives Matter signs in their windows. Okay. But they don't want us around. They don't want us in their neighborhoods. When I went, I brought my mom, I brought 2 of my best friends. We got there around 3:30, 3:40. They open at 4. We're just hanging out. We end up walking across the street to the restaurant, and before we even said anything, one of the servers, the way that she kind of just was like already annoyed with us before she even knew what we came for, she was just like, oh, we're not open yet. We open in 30 minutes. We know what time you open. We ain't about to run up on you and make you open early. So we're out there, and then a few more people start to gather. It's not a lot. At this point, it's maybe like 6-8 people out there before they actually open. One of the servers was super nice, brought us waters as we was waiting outside, and was really patient and making sure that, you know, we were able to get our orders in. Whereas the other server, she just kind of seemed like she wasn't really interested in having us there at all. She was very anxious. Before we even did anything, she was like kind of like freaking out, and that is what's called racial anxiety. Racial anxiety can be defined as heightened levels of stress that white people face when they have to deal with black people or people of color. I work in the service industry, so I understand. I hate when people come early. I don't like that either. But, you know, we're not making you serve us early. We're just, you know, waiting in line because, again, we know that it's going to sell out because that's what it has been doing. Granted, they only make like 40 orders a day. And people who are in line, everybody gets like 4 orders a piece. So really, that's like 10 people that you're servicing. And I noticed that, you know, there are a lot more black people coming to that bar. You can tell that it's a neighborhood bar that usually services people that live in the neighborhood. So even some of the white people who were regulars, they looked a little bothered about the amount of black people that were there.
Bubbly's in the fridge. Bubbly's in the fridge.
And like I said before, I worked in the service industry, so I completely understand the frustrations that come with it. And so I would see the other young lady that wasn't as nice. I could see her dealing with some of her black customers and kind of how short she was with them, and kind of like her attitude about like making sure they got their stuff. Like people would come in and say, oh, I'm missing. Oh, okay, I got you. Like it was very short, very like, very attitude-y. Like for what reason, we don't know. But then I would watch her, the same girl, interact with her regulars, which are all white people. And it was a totally different girl. Like she was super sweet, super accommodating. As I'm watching in my head, I'm like, I think they're gonna end up taking these egg rolls off because I don't think they like black people being in this space.
Wow, racism.
After we got our food, as we're walking to our cars, I noticed that the white people that lived in the neighborhood, they were like kind of watching us. Like I would see them like open up their doors, just kind of like, what's going on? Like kind of surveying us and just kind of looking like, what are you doing in our area? Like you don't even have to say nothing. I can tell in your face that you're bothered by my presence because I'm black. People are so quick to say, well, I don't see color, I don't see color, but you do because you're acting differently. Like if I was white, this wouldn't be a problem. I strongly doubt that if it was white people lined up outside of that building calling in to get the egg rolls, I don't think they would have stopped making them. I think if anything, they would have doubled it and probably would have stopped selling items that don't sell as much. I don't see a restaurant taking off an item that people want just for any reason. And I don't see why anybody would turn down money
in the middle of a pandemic,
unless it has something to do with race. I'm not saying that AJ's is racist, but I do think that their decision to remove the egg rolls was to stop black people from coming as often and in as big quantities as we have been coming. I believe that the neighbors probably complained as well about seeing as many black people, you know, gathered in one place. Again, this is the same neighborhood that has been vandalizing Ice Queen's, a black-owned snowball shop, saying all types of, you know, racial things to people standing outside in line to get their snowballs, just all types of foolishness. And it's like, yo, it's 2020. We need to deal with this stuff. I think the problem is people need to stop being racist. You're probably thinking, Nakia, why do you care so much? Like, why are you so invested in this issue? Well, for one, I'm bored. I don't got nothing else to do. Bitch, it's a pandemic. Also, I love food. I love talking about food. I love being around food. I love eating food. Like, everything about food is important to me. Also, I love black people. And I don't like racism. So if I see it, I'm gonna say something about it.
Now check that.
If you know you have any feels around this situation or any thoughts around it or any suggestions, and like, let's talk about it in the comments, because I think this is a really important thing to talk about, especially right now, because we don't got nothing else to do. So let's just dig into it. Let's talk about it. I saw a lot of people saying like, oh, well, you know, it can't be race motivated because, you know, people love black dollars and black dollars count, which I agree. Black dollars are important. But I will say, when it comes to the service industry and the restaurant industry, as unfortunate as it is, a lot of servers still don't think that black people tip. So they rather you not come than to come and not tip them. So I think this issue is like, it's levels to it. Like, it's levels. Even in the post that AJ's made about taking the item off the menu, they kind of mentioned like, oh, we made this bar, we really just wanted to be a neighborhood bar that could serve patrons in the Sooo area, which I never even heard that term before. I guess it means South Baltimore, but I've never heard anybody say that before, so that's new to me. That sounds like a code to me, like, okay, we wanted to serve the people that live around here. And if you don't live around here, then you shouldn't be around here. Like, that's how I took it. So, yeah. Hopefully, a black-owned restaurant that cares about the people, that can handle the demand, that can advocate for us, and that's not scared of us, will make some crab cake egg rolls for us to enjoy, because the bitches was bald. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Please like this video. Share with your friends. Comment so we can keep the conversation going. I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of racism. The shit it's too much. Like, it's really a lot. And I just think that we need to continue to talk about it.